Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, September 10th, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. So we had a bull bounce by SPY in response to an article that was posted well before the market reacted to it. It was posted 15 minutes before people started tweeting about it. Either way, that move, we were just looking for an hourly lower high. Whenever we change momentum on the short-term time frame, I zoom out and I look at the hourly, and we could say, okay, we're just looking for an hourly lower high compared to either the high of pre-market or the high of yesterday's afternoon bounce attempt. And we rejected from the hourly 20-period moving average resistance, which acted as support last week. So now the bulls have to hold the low of today and break 297.79 to change the hourly trend. And it's looking like it's going to have to wait until tomorrow to see if that can occur or not. And if it does, that's going to be our daily higher low and a potential daily bull flag because of how brief and healthy this consolidation would be. And if that doesn't happen, then we are looking for further consolidation. So goal for the bulls into tomorrow is change that hourly trend. Goal for the bears, of course, will be to break 295.97 and see further daily pullback. The dollar is still not doing anything. Daily inside bar, tight range. We did get our minor bounce, but it wasn't too long-lived. So let's look at gold. So gold fading back. The 4-hour time frame was just a lower high, and now we're testing our low with the potential of the 4-hour bear flag confirming. So we can't be confident in any prolonged bull miners moves until the 4-hour trend changes on the precious metals. Otherwise, we're just looking for temporary bull moves like this morning on those bull miners. So if gold sees another 4-hour lower high and lower low, pullback continues. 1492 already broke. So now we're looking down at 1479 as the next level if we do see another leg down. Silver on the 4-hour time frame still holding on much better. So another example where silver is looking stronger than gold and a lot of space where we can form a 4-hour high or low. The bulls on silver are going to be hoping that we can get an inverse head and shoulders, with this being our neckline, this being our head, and if we pull back, we need a higher low and then a trend change to shift that 4-hour momentum. Oil pulling back today. So temporary top, anything above 54.81 will be a higher low. 4-hour uptrend was lost with a little bull flag. Follow through bear break. And we have to watch for that daily higher low to form on oil. Nat gas. So nat gas bears showed up right before the bell rang this morning. Bearish reversal candle on the daily. Have we lost the 4-hour uptrend? Answer is no. 4-hour exponential support is continuing to hold. And I would love to see a bounce overnight and a potential top fishing play with the high of today, tomorrow, to potentially benefit from a lower high and lower low to lose the 4-hour uptrend and lose the exponential support at the same time. But at this point, those levels are still holding, and this uptrend is still intact. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's right down at support. We had support of 10,167 and it broke, but only by $16. The bears still have the upper hand. The Bitcoin bulls are struggling to do anything here. We had one green move, and other than that, it's been a lot of pullback over the last few days. So $10,059 and then 10,000 psychological will be support levels. If we break 10,000, the 4-hour RSI will just be getting to oversold. And we will still be looking for the daily higher low to form, but no sign of it forming yet. And that's why I was so patient. I missed this move, and I just let it go because I didn't see a daily trend change. And here we are giving back a good bit of that move. So all about the 4-hour time frame still on Bitcoin. IN. Want to keep an eye on SPY here into the end of the day. So IN.TO. So you could call that an hourly cup and handle. Bulls are trying to confirm it here. 435 and 45 are the two resistance levels. And of course, at this point, we must hold 40 cents. Otherwise, it will not be a potential cup and handle pattern. But closing with some bullish momentum, so certainly worth watching into tomorrow as the biotech sector having a big day today, and even the small caps in the biotech sector definitely standing out. OGI. So OGI resistance. I don't really like cup and handles from downtrends. They're better continuation patterns after an already strong move. And the reason is you can just pick any level on the left and make that the left side of the cup. Well, this could be the cup, and then if that's not it, then that could be the left side, or this could be the left side. So I don't like that fact because I see so many people posting charts that are just reaching for it to be a cup and handle. This one makes sense in the sense that we have key resistance that we are currently rejecting from. And that resistance is 482. We got up to 482 as a double top. And this is attempting a daily bull flag. As I said in the video yesterday, OH is pretty much what every Canadian MJ name wants to see, but one day ahead. So OH gave us a bull flag yesterday and got the breakout today. So OGI and all the major names are trying to form this bull flag, but keep in mind, the percentage distance needed to cover to get to that level here, we need a 10% move even to get to that resistance. So how much follow through are we really going to see if it takes 10% bull momentum to even get to resistance before we break it? APHA. So again, I wouldn't call APHA a cup and handle. There's no clear left side. I'm just watching the daily uptrend. Higher low looks to be set at 663. Bulls have to break 714 to be looking up at 760. But there's no clear left side here. And 760 is too far away, and it's not a good looking chart. OGI would be closer to a cup and handle than APHA would be, in my opinion. QQQ. You could call that an inverse, although we did just reject. So it was a potential setup, but failed to break it. UNT. So not surprising to see a pullback with natural gas pulling back today. I believe it is a natural gas play. I don't see a 4-hour equilibrium. I see the potential for an hourly. So if we were to get more bounce follow through, this is too likely to be a bear flag at this point. The bulls need to make their way up over 340. If we do, then we have an hourly equilibrium to be watching. But it's a potential head and shoulders on the hourly. So if we see a weak bounce, don't get over 340 and then drop down and break 322, it's a loss of our hourly uptrend. We would then be in an hourly downtrend, and daily consolidation would likely be underway. XBI did get its bull break today. So we had the low of 77.87. High of the bounce was 80.86. Higher low, the low of today held support, and then we broke resistance. We need a bit more follow through tomorrow. We want more than just one green day. But if we can get over 81.52, it certainly keeps convincing that that trend change is getting follow through. We zoom out to the weekly, and we would look for a weekly lower high compared to 87.70. But this is the first shift in daily momentum for the last couple of months for the biotech sector. Dust. So Dust has had a nice run. Anything under 820 is just a lower high. This would be a head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders potential setup if we reject from 820 and then have to form a daily higher low. So that'll be interesting to watch into next week. The hourly uptrend is keeping the bulls in control. cautious up here. I certainly wouldn't be looking for any bullish entries up at these levels, but if in a bullish position already, we have the low of yesterday afternoon, the higher low at the low of today, 742. So bulls keeping the hourly uptrend. If we lose the hourly uptrend, we'll then have to pull back and form a daily higher low. Keeping in mind that we have not changed the daily trend. This move is coming straight off the low, which is why that inverse head and shoulders pattern is a potential setup. If we cannot break 820 on our first attempt, don't have my best drawing skills today, but you get the idea. So TVIX, surprised it's not a bit more green today, but just a daily inside bar. So 1463 is support, 1557 is a double top. Even if we break 1557, we're just looking for a daily lower high compared to 1977. But as of right now, the bulls are struggling to even get that much of a bounce going. So tight range to be watching into tomorrow. And if we get that bull break, it should lead to some short-term upside, but just looking for a daily lower high now that we are in a clear daily downtrend. MGI, getting a little toppy. This is a bearish reversal candlestick on the daily, so I want to zoom in and see what the hourly trend is. I would say we're still in an hourly uptrend. Well, you could look at it in multiple ways, but the fact that we held 528 keeps the hourly uptrend alive for me. If we were to break 538 tomorrow morning, that would likely be the indication that a daily higher low has to form. And it's certainly very extended in the short term. So all about the hourly uptrend from here. Let's see if the 15-minute gives some more clarity. So 15-minute loss of the trend without much bear follow-through. Setting up for the potential of a daily inside bar tomorrow after a 10% range today. But worth watching for daily consolidation as we are so extended. And definitely a lot of profit taking today. RVLV, breaking short-term resistance. Bulls want to close over 24.13. Next resistance is 25 and then 26.50 as the daily trend change is underway. And this is a falling wedge that is breaking bullish. So nice volume spike, nice strong close, and the bulls are going to be looking for follow through tomorrow. And so now the daily momentum is shifting. We zoom out to the weekly, and we're looking for a weekly lower high to form. But there's a lot of space as to where that could form. Shop is still dumping. Closing at the low, tons of bear volume. Next support level to be looking at is down at 328.53. Hourly chart didn't even attempt to bounce today. Anything under 360.63 is just an hourly lower high. And perhaps a gap down. If we were to see a gap down open tomorrow, I'd be interested in a bounce play. Weekly uptrend is still intact, so it is worth watching for a bounce play tomorrow. But bears certainly closing with a lot of momentum in their favor. NIO breaking out over 3, well, not yet. All about 327. So right there, the fact that we got this close is definitely a victory for the bulls. But after 327, next resistance level is going to be up at 333. Hourly higher low to keep the bulls in control. Anything above 307 will be an hourly higher low. 305 support held today. Nice strong close. ZS. So ZS is still very weak. The bears have complete control. Even if it's a bullish reaction, we're just going to be looking for a weekly lower high. And if it's a bearish reaction, short-term key support is 60, which we already tested. After 60, there's a lack of support. So the bears are running away with it, and the bulls are just hoping that we can put a stop to the bleeding. there's definitely a lot of seasonality in a lot of sectors, not only the MJ sector, but when I used to trade penny stocks, summer was brutal. So low cap names definitely have seasonality as well. CPRX. So the daily breakout continues, pretty much a double bottom, 648, 646 the last 2 days. Hourly higher low is now at 692. Resistance is 715. Again, another small cap pharmaceutical on fire. Small cap bio plays standing out. But after 715 resistance, that's it. Well, blue sky, I think. Nope. 743. There we go. Took a long time to get back there. 743 is the next resistance. Anything on the daily chart, I would say anything over 590 is a daily high or low. So even when we lose the hourly uptrend, we will still anticipate the daily uptrend to remain intact. And look at how good a guide this 12-period exponential support is. It's pretty much been holding every single support test for the last 2.5 months. So VFF hoping for the daily bull flag, great buying of the dip. This was pretty much exactly what the MJ Bulls wanted to see today. Daily high or low trying to form, need continuation over the high of last week or the high of yesterday. 1253 is resistance. Have we changed the hourly trend? Not yet, but we're on our way. Just have to see the bull break of 1218 to confirm the hourly trend change, and then we're looking up at the recent high. VGW has been correlated to the larger MJ names and is trying to do the same thing. Hourly high or low at 364 is trying to form, and we already got the bull break. I was thinking of a different name as far as correlation to the other names go. Either way, bull break today, hourly high or low being set, and 379 is the next resistance after 372. So daily trend change underway, and it would be a good thing for VGW if the sector heads to their daily higher highs, as we're already one step ahead, and that could only benefit. So MedMen, disappointing day just as far as a lot of profit taking on the reaction to the deal potentially going through with the DOJ. And the play was in OH this morning with its discount. MedMen has no discount for this deal. MedMen's the buying company. So resistance is 279 and 280 and 284. So 3 resistances still right there. And short-term support, 269 is a key level, but just a tightening hourly range right now that the bulls have to break in their favor tomorrow. Otherwise, it'll just be a clear example of a lack of any real bull volume yesterday into today. So CGC is trying for the daily high or low. Need the hourly trend change here as well. Bulls have to break 27.36, and then we're looking up at 28.45 as the next resistance level. Bulls would like to break this hourly resistance before the close and see a new high of the day, but a little bit further to go for CGC than it is for some of these other individual names. So Litecoin, 4-hour exponential support still on watch. We could lose the 4-hour uptrend. If we were to drop down and break support of 69.77, we would lose the 4-hour uptrend and lose the exponential support for the first time in the last couple of days. And then we would be looking down at 67.73 support. So not a very comfortable setup for the bulls after the continuation attempt was rejected, and we have an hourly tightening range to be watching. 69.77 is the low, 71.93 is the high, and the bulls are trying for a higher low right now. So a bit of an hourly tightening range to be watching in the short term. ABT. Dropping to a lower low. Bulls are buying the dip, but we're just looking for an hourly lower high. I wouldn't consider this an hourly high or low. I would still consider this the same move. And we still have not set our hourly low or high yet is how I would view this. So I would consider anything under 83.67 just an hourly low or high. And then the bulls would need to pull back and hold 81.02. That little couple penny pullback is not enough for me to say that's a clear pivot and an hourly higher low and higher high. LABS. So this is a red flag just because LABS has been looking like the major Canadian MJ names for the last 2 weeks, and today it does not. There is no indication the daily high or low is forming. There is no little hourly bull flag like a lot of the other major names have. So just not ideal. It's weaker comparatively. So 485 is support. That broke. We're now looking down at 471. And again, we're nowhere near changing the hourly trend. Well, the bulls could pull it off, but we have to hold 476 tomorrow and then break 5 to change that hourly trend. Bulls have a bit steeper of a climb to try and get to where these other names are. So OH with the bullish reaction today. Hourly time frame looking like support levels being established at 841. Short-term resistance of 885 and then 896. Bulls want as little of an upper wick as possible. Otherwise, the potential for a daily inside bar tomorrow remains. For example, if we close at 870, open at 872, reject from 880, and then start pulling back, that's a clear profit-taking signal that a daily inside bar is likely to form. So the closer we close to the high of the day, the better the chances that the bulls can break the high of today first thing tomorrow. So bulls want to try and close, ideally, above 880, I would say. GTII. So GTII bulls keeping control. Declining bull volume is definitely notable, so we would want to be cautious. Anything above 1117 will be a daily high or low, so the bulls have a lot of space to work with. The hourly uptrend is still very much intact. Just trading sideways here. I would say anything above 1248 is an hourly high or low. And we've got resistance of 1310, 1311, and then 1368. But this is definitely one of the stronger USMJ names, and it does have the bull cross of the 1226 period exponential moving average now. So if we were going to make a list of USMJ names that are technically strongest, OH is at the top of that list. GTII is up there with it. So TNX, the hourly or the RSI is not that extended. The hourly RSI is getting up there, so we will look for an hourly high or low to form, but we're not anywhere near overbought on the daily time frame. And the 4-hour RSI is not overbought either. So hourly consolidation is due absolutely in the short term, but that's the only time frame that looks very extended to me. XRT is just as extended on the hourly. Wow. Retail on fire. 43.48 breaking is notable. And breaking the weekly lower highs. We don't have a weekly trend change because this move is coming off the low. But the size of this move certainly increases the odds that a weekly trend change can follow through from here. Laggard sectors like the biotechs and retail catching up. BZUN dropping hard. Bulls have to form a daily high or low. We rejected right from 50.63. That was the resistance. And cup and handle is not on the table. This pullback is too significant. 44.28 has to hold for a daily high or low, but already the amount of this drop and the amount of volume is definitely peculiar. Would not expect the size of this drop on that volume. Just shows a lack of bid support. But it's a red flag just in the sense that we have pulled back about 8% from our recent high, and we're closing at the low of the day. So this is not the kind of consolidation that has continuation as its most likely next move. So our OKU dumping for a second day in a row, trying to get a bounce going here at the end of the day. The hourly time frame is just going to be looking for a lower high to form. Pretty much anything's going to be an hourly lower high. And the goal for the bulls tomorrow is just put a stop to the bleeding and hold the low of today for a daily inside bar. So a little bit of an oversold bounce at the end of the day. Some shorts probably covering. 139.53 has to hold tomorrow. BU.TO. So a little bit of a red flag. We broke 155 with no follow through. And now we're pulling back. The daily higher low is still intact at 126. Bulls have to hold 126 and try and get some more follow through. Have to be cautious of a weekly tightening range here. If we lose the daily uptrend, we'll view it as a high, low, lower high, and we'll then be scouting a higher low compared to 109 if the daily uptrend is lost. So pretty much the question is, can the daily uptrend remain intact and we head back to recent highs? Or is the daily uptrend going to be lost and a weekly equilibrium to form? Etsy's a daily or a weekly inside bar. Daily chart, very weak bounce, still absolutely a potential bear flag. If we were to come down and break 49.38 tomorrow, the odds of a daily bear flag would increase a good bit. Have we lost the hourly uptrend? Not yet. We're expecting an hourly lower high on this bounce. If we lose the hourly uptrend, our daily lower high has been set, and we then shift our focus back on support of 47.70. So hourly uptrend still intact, but bulls need to hold that into tomorrow. I would be charting I assume the Canadian ticker has more volume than the OTC ticker. So I would be charting the Canadian ticker. We have a lower high at 153. So we need a daily higher low to form. Anything above 105 is that daily higher low, but we need the hourly trend change to be confident the daily higher low has been established. And we don't have one. Any hourly bounce, anything under 149 is just a lower high. So we have to change the hourly trend for the daily higher low to be established. Bitcoin with a big clear bear break. So 4-hour bear break on Bitcoin. Daily higher low not established yet. 4-hour RSI on the verge of oversold. That's likely going to hurt altcoins as well. Still holding up better, but definitely a setback. GME bulls on the daily are strong, closing up near the high of the day. Next resistance level after the high of today is going to be up at, there's a gap at 517. And the hourly higher low for the bulls to keep control. Anything above the low of today is an hourly higher low. So nice strong bull move here at the end of the day. Keeping in mind that on the weekly chart, I would consider anything under 585 a weekly lower high. We'll need a weekly trend change to believe that this move can have follow through. But the bulls certainly have short-term control in their favor. T is a daily inside bar, so a tightening range. Short-term support is 37.25 and 37.72 is resistance. So high, low, lower high, higher low, and expecting a break of that daily inside bar tomorrow. If we break bear, a daily high or low has to form. If we break bull, we look to the recent high of 38.14. Our H bulls are certainly confident heading into earnings. We do have a bit of a double top at 157.71, so it would be a bearish rejection. If it's a bearish reaction, that would be a double top. And if it's bullish, we're looking up at the all-time high. MNK. Huge bull move today. I would consider anything under 544 a daily lower high. So we're not changing the daily trend at this point. Hourly is definitely overextended. We will look for an hourly higher low to form when we do top out. And next resistance will be 4 psychological from here. Nice big bull move, but still in a daily downtrend as far as I'm concerned. Nice move on SPY. Can we get that hourly trend change before the end of the day? Not likely, but it's a nice hourly equilibrium. DVAX is right at resistance of 473. We rejected just under it on the hourly chart. The hourly chart is a bit extended. So if we can't break 473 first thing tomorrow, we're going to look for an hourly equilibrium between this range. And we're going to look for a pullback and a higher low to form in the mid $4 range. I personally would be more comfortable if we had established a higher low on the hourly. But if you do swing it, it would be the kind of thing where we have to break 473 first thing, or that's going to be a signal for some short-term profit taking to likely take place. BAMM. Hourly trying to form a little bull flag. Nice break over 98. That was a clear bull signal. Next resistance, 112 and 119. So bulls closing strong. If we break 110 first thing tomorrow, 108 will be our short-term support level. And a long, drawn-out downtrend finally shifting some momentum. Certainly just looking for a weekly lower high, but again, a ton of space where that can form. HARV. So daily chart is trying to form a bull flag. Have to change the hourly trend. Drop to a lower low on the hourly without much follow through, but anything under 720 is an hourly lower high. So the bulls have to change the hourly trend for the daily higher low to be established. No red flags on this consolidation at this point. Bulls just need to turn it around sooner rather than later to keep this consolidation healthy. So Netflix with the big bear reaction to Apple. Daily chart, just another drop to lower low after just another daily 12-period exponential resistance, rejection, big time fake out. I would consider it a double bottom at 282.66. But on the hourly bounce, we're just looking for a lower high to form. And it's potentially an hourly bear flag still. SQ, bulls have to form an hourly high or low compared to 59.45. Already, the increasing bear volume is a bit of a red flag to give this all back after a bull break this morning. Which means, is it a daily bear flag? Not yet, but it's a daily inside bar. So tightening hourly range. If we can hold 59.45 tomorrow, we'll look for a bounce and a lower high compared to 62.10. But no sign of a higher low at this point as we're closing near the low or at the low of consolidation. I think I already did MNK. I did. SFIX. Another clear bull break. Just bulls running or bears running out of momentum and getting exhausted. Bull break over 1994. Next resistance 2142. And then 22. Hourly has not established, well, you could call 2022 a support level. So anything above 2022 keeps the bulls in full control. PCG is choppy on the hourly time frame. Not much clarity there. Daily chart. Weak bounce attempt. Solid day yesterday with no follow through is a bit of a red flag. Resistance is 1193 and 1285. But I don't like the lack of clarity on the hourly time frame, which is making the daily less clear for me as well. But bulls certainly need to put more than one green day in a row together. So SPY is closing in an hourly equilibrium. Decent close on Canadian MJ. Nice close on OH. Missed my reload on OH by 1 penny today. Still in half a position. I rebought APHA 1% cheaper than where I sold it yesterday. MJ bulls would like to break their high of the day here to make those daily bull flags just that much more convincing. BA hourly bull flag confirmed. Nice clear bull break over 365. Now it's just 370. And then 371.36, but this is a tight daily range that it's getting its clear convincing bull break. And just one little short-term level left. Multiple weekly inside bars breaking bull. A lot of resistance up at 380. So that'll be the next target. After 370. So good day for MJ out there. Have to follow through. Nice strong close for the biotech sector up at the high of the day. 3% move on XBI. That means, and that's even just from the close. From the low of the day, it's even more than that. Pretty much a 10% plus range on XB or LABU today, the leveraged ETFs. And there goes SPY, trying to change this hourly trend. Nice recovery by the bulls. We'll see if they get that follow through tomorrow to give us our daily higher low and potential daily bull flag. So see you all tomorrow morning. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And we'll see if natural gas gives us a 4-hour lower high to potentially play off of tomorrow. XBI next resistance. Next major daily resistance level is 83.74, but there's a resistance level at 82.44. Let's see if these SPY bulls can pull it off. Down to the wire. Very nice close on OH. So we got a new high of the day by a penny. So that's an hourly trend change. We'll see what the bulls do in extended hours, but that is potentially our daily higher low. And if that were the case, and if SPY is able to see continuation before the end of the week, obviously that is only going to benefit the potential of Canadian MJ names doing the same. OH is on absolute fire at the end of the day. Wow.